one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
I can't even think about all of the shit I did to fit in. Past hard to watch like a fucking scary movie. I'm always happy to meet somebody that never knew me. Change for the better, hope niggas are living through me. I put it all on the wax so the people can know the true me. Hard to remain sane when the people you love the most is what's causing the damn pain. Y'all beef by the same thing, we ain't playing the same game. It's all for my family. She the girl of your fucking dreams, but to me she a plain Jane. You dipper and ball man, I dump when them calls came. This that higher level thinking. I'm the type to jump the fuck off of the shit before it's sinking. Not here for no new shit, my game slider boosted. Ain't I don't have to prove shit, Rockstar fight the fool shit. My movie, this the new script. I want a life with no bullshit, nigga. I know on these news clips, that's why I dap him and move quick. Won't be around when they move switch, won't be around when they lose clips, won't be around for they lose lips. Might be the reason they pull shit. Yeah. Free smoke.
Here come the bus.
Yo, listen to me, bro. Listen to me. Time is a real and constant motion, always rolling us along. Could you tell me possibly who wants to sit back on their life and wonder, or who wants to look back on their youth and wonder, where did those days go? Actually, I correct that. Where those years? Hey, fuck yeah. Time is a real and constant motion. Oh wait, bro. When I was in, hey, yo, fuck all that. What is good? I had to energize myself. Bro. I was tired at work today, bro. I was exhausted. Every day I go to work, I'm reminded. Find new ways to grind and get better so you don't have to do this forever. And that should be the goal. Like, I always be looking at people at work who be celebrating that they work. Like, bro, it's people who work at the job I work at who be wanting to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And they celebrate, like, brag about getting the working 60, 70 hours. And I'm like, bruh, who the fuck celebrates that? Like, why wouldn't you take that type of time? Not even that type of time, but why don't you put the type of commitment that you put into going to work for somebody else every day? Why do you not put that same type of commitment into actually getting rich, to doing something that will beneficially get you to where you wanted to be? Or did you? I understand some people just stop dreaming, so that's not even a thought to them. But I don't understand how you could still walk around with dreams, goals, and aspirations one day, and you at these everyday mundane jobs and you happy about working 70. And I understand some people just in situations where they just, I don't know, man. It's crazy to me. I really can't put a finger on it. That sounds miserable to me. But that is neither here nor there. Thursday night football. The 49ers, 9-4, head into Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks, who are 7-6. They 1-4. I mean, I think they like 1-4 in their last 5 games or something like that. They have not been good. Oh no. I think they like 1-3 in their last 4 games. It's been a tough one. NFC West matchup. Now listen, I really want to pick. I'm gonna get my pick out the way quick. I wanted to pick the 49ers. I really did, bro. I sit down throughout the week and I rewatch the team that play on Thursday, because that's a singled out game. I can sit down throughout the week and like as soon as Sunday in and start looking at that game. Well, as soon as Monday in, and then I can start looking at that game, because as soon as Sunday in, I'm looking at the 2 teams that's playing Monday. But as soon as Monday in and I'm done with my Monday night review over the football games, I can immediately start looking at film highlights, games, player highlights of the teams that's playing on Thursday night. And so looking at the highlights and whatnot and all the different film, all the different shit I look at on the 49ers and the Seahawks, it is absolutely no reason why I should be picking the Seahawks to win this game. but I'm picking the Seahawks to win this game. And the reason I'm picking the Seahawks to win this game is because as much as I believe in the 49ers, and the 49ers at this point to me have a defense like the Jets, the difference, they have a brilliant offensive coordinator. And they have Christian McCaffrey. And I said it from when he got traded over there. That is a game-changing piece for them because I know Kyle Shanahan is going to know how to use a Christian McCaffrey. The reason I'm picking against the 49ers is because, for one, they are on the road. And I understand that defense can travel. But I do believe that this could be the week that the defense doesn't travel as great. On top of that, DK Metcalf, I still believe, I truly still believe that Russell Wilson made a mistake. And I didn't really address it too much at the time. Russell Wilson, if he truly did not like playing in Seattle, that's different. But I said it before, if the problem was Pete Carroll, I'm telling you, man, he should have just tried to get Pete Carroll fired. And if at the end of the day it was absolutely no possible way Pete Carroll was getting replaced, which I just find it hard to believe that at the end of the day the owner just would not have gotten rid of Pete Carroll over Russell Wilson, because the weapons in Seattle are just better than the weapons in Denver to me. I like Jerry Jeudy. I like a lot of the players over there. DK Metcalf and Tyler, listen, you talking to somebody who think Tyler Lockett is the better receiver out of every name I just named. You got to understand that. I think Tyler Lockett is the better receiver out of DK Metcalf and him. Because of what Tyler Lockett can do, DK Metcalf can do what he can do. They are two great receivers that play so great off of each other. I don't know how Russell Wilson was willing to walk away from that. It's just, and then I'm looking at the Seattle crowd. I'm looking at the home fan. That just would have been hard for me to leave Seattle. I'm not going to lie. I did not like how the offense was running and whatnot, because I'm thinking to myself, you got two weapons like this. Why don't you air it out more? And the running game wasn't consistent since losing Marshawn Lynch. So, I don't know. It's a lot of reasons as to why I can understand Russell Wilson wanting to leave. But, man, it would have been hard-pressed for me not to try to do everything in my power to get the situation solved there, because it is just hard to walk away from a DK Metcalf and a Tyler Lockett. It is. And they got a third receiver over there that's having a pretty decent season. So, to me, when you have a DK... Now, it was different when DK Metcalf could have been traded. DK Metcalf re-signed. So, to me, when you have that's why I think Seattle ultimately is set up fine. Because if Geno do fizzle out the rest of the season and continue to struggle, then you can move. I don't think they're going to move off of Geno. But if they do, they got the number 2 pick in the draft right now, I believe. Because they got Denver's first-round draft pick. They got a good pick in the draft right now. They can draft a quarterback if they truly don't feel like Geno is what's going to take them to the next level. And I don't think Geno is going to win them a Super Bowl. But, hey, I'm not saying Geno can't be a starter, but the goal is to win a Super Bowl. I don't think Geno is a Super Bowl. I don't think Geno is elevating the talent on that team as much as the talent on that team is elevating Geno. And the best coaching he done been around probably his entire life since being in the NFL. No diss to Rex Ryan. But when you look at DK and Tyler Lockett, and I don't understand why Tyler Lockett don't get the respect. Because do people realize Tyler Lockett is not a slot receiver? I understand people immediately see a receiver that's not as tall as a DK, a Devontae, and they immediately say, oh, slot receiver. Bro, DK Metcalf is a better route runner than... Tyler Lockett is a better route runner than DK Metcalf. I understand DK is the big name. Look at him. He motherfucker looked like he was carved out of stone. But no diss to DK. If I had to rate both of the two, I'm probably giving DK a 94, and Tyler Lockett would probably get a 95. And if you wanted to argue me about it, both of them get 94s. It's no shot that I'm giving DK a higher rating, though, than Tyler Lockett, because Tyler Lockett is every bit as good as DK. The only argument that you could probably make is the jump ball. But as good as DK is, when I think of the best jump ball receivers, unless I'm just tripping right now, DK is not one of the first receivers that pop up in my head. I got D-Hop, what's my man's name? D-Hop was the first name that popped up. Julio, when he was in his prime, Julio still be going up and getting it over people. I don't think of DK, but DK, maybe I should. He a tall receiver. I just don't think that's what he specializes in. DK fast as shit, though. And I do think DK can run good routes. I just don't think he is as pristine a route runner as Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett always open for a reason. He could play the slot. He could play outside, which is where he played most of the time. Like, bro, I told y'all, before Russell Wilson had DK, Tyler Lockett was holding it the fuck down with a lot of other good receivers on that team. That's it. You know, the more and more I talk about this situation, it is kind of crazy that Russ was ready to leave Seattle. Because now that I think about it, Seattle always had receivers. So that's why it is kind of confusing that they didn't go to an offensive coordinator that was receiver heavy. You got Golden Tate. What is that other dude's name, bro, who was a beast? God, I hate that I can't remember my man's name right now. And he was a stud for a long time, bro. He was an all-pro and I cannot remember this dude's name at the moment. That's a shame. And I know other Seattle fans know exactly who I'm talking about, bro. He was like the number one for a while until Tyler Lockett came along. Tyler Lockett even played next to him. For a long time, he was Russell's number one. And then Tyler Lockett finally took that over. And then Tyler Lockett finally had his number two beside him, or the other number one. Man, what is this dude's name? Was it something Douglas or Nelson? Or damn, what was this dude's name? If it pop up in my head, I'll remember it. I'll spit it out. But pause. But for me personally, watching when I look at the Seattle team, they always had weapons over there for us. So now the more and more I think about it, man, damn, that might have been a mistake for Russ to well, it looked like a mistake definitely right now, but I just don't know if the Denver Broncos are going to be able to get you the weaponry that you've always had. This dude's name almost was right there. It was right there, bro. I see his face and everything, bro, and I'm so mad that I can't think of this man's name right now. Douglas. I feel like it's something Douglas. Oh my, it's killing me that I can't remember this man's name right now. Doug Baldwin. That's who it was. I didn't look it up or nothing. It just finally popped. Because I done seen his face since I thought about it. Like, I've been seeing his face. I see the beard he had, his head, the low cut he always had because he was basically balding or whatever. But, yeah, Doug Baldwin. Big attitude, short. He wasn't as tall as dude, but he was a stud, bro. Those Seattle receivers never got the national spotlight they deserve because of the defense and Marshawn Lynch. But because Golden Tate was good when he got to Detroit. Anyways, the 49, I think this is going to be a close game. But I do think at the end of the day, as good as as decent as Brock Purdy has played and all he's had to do is be the man, I don't love Seattle's defense, to be completely honest with you. I can't trust them. That's my biggest thing. I don't know what they're going to give me on a game-to-game basis. But I do think a lot of different things can go right for Seattle to win this game. Like, I understand Seattle done look bad the last couple weeks, but get better protecting Geno. Protect him a little bit better. They don't have a run game ever since their running back got hurt. So if they could find a way to... Now, one of the things that is a problem with Geno is he hold the ball too long. I think Geno always done held the ball too long. Like, I tell you, Deshaun Watson's biggest problem in his career is he hold the ball too fucking long. And that usually end up in him taking a sack, getting hurt, throwing a pick. And it's very rare, but it do happen enough where he make a big play from holding on to it too long. And so it's got it to the point where he just going to always do that. And that's a problem. So Geno could eliminate a lot of these different problems by taking a check down, throwing it away, scrambling immediately. One thing that I noticed from quarterbacks who don't really have the greatest pocket awareness, pocket presence, and it's usually dudes who hold on to the ball too long, they escape the wrong side of the pocket. Like, when they roll out, they usually roll into trouble, or they roll into a holding call on their own player. They force a holding call, I should say. Like, Geno kind of roll out awkwardly at times, just like Mac Jones, Russell Wilson, the king of it. It's not fluid, basically. But I think the Seahawks is due. I think they're going to have a big game tomorrow night or tonight. I think Geno and this offense is due. And Geno and this offense is having good games. It's just Geno got to cut down the interceptions he done had the last couple games. He check out on these interceptions, they'll be fine. I think what's got to happen next, though, for the 49ers is this is why I'm picking against the 49ers. And I noticed something. George Kittle is not productive in this offense ever since Jimmy Garoppolo went down. And I kind of thought this last year, but I really think it now. This offense can be great without George Kittle. I don't understand why they don't trade him, but I understand why they don't trade him. So as a team captain, I'm pretty sure he is, if I'm remembering correctly. I think he was a Walter Payton Man of the Year probably, or candidate, or a recipient. And just an all-around beast, and consider a top tight end in the game. You don't want to get rid of something like that, but I think the production from him came from the fact that Jimmy G was his guy, and Jimmy G fucked with him heavy, so he was always going to keep him involved. But when you look at Brock Purdy not necessarily needing to get him involved or focus heavily on him, that, to me, it just showed me that Kyle Shanahan's offense don't really need him. Especially at the price tag. Like, it's another team out there that I feel like would be so much more beneficial with a George Kittle than the 49ers at this point. It's the same way I feel about Mike Gesicki in Miami. Miami's offense ain't set up for tight ends to be successful. That's why they rarely use Gesicki nowadays. They use receivers, running backs more than they use. Gesicki could go to another offense where they use tight ends and be phenomenal, because I think Gesicki is a good tight end. That's why Dalton Schultz look as good as he look in Dallas. I don't think Dalton Schultz is Mark Andrews or Kelsey or George Kittle, but he looked damn good in an offense that utilizes a tight end. And so, especially with a quarterback who liked throwing it to his tight end. And so right now, George Kittle in a weird spot where I know George Kittle is a great player. I'm not confused by his lack of production the last couple of weeks. That don't make me think he still a top 5 tight end in the league, top 3 tight end in the league. I know what he can do if he was given the opportunities on a consistent basis. I also think that's kind of was hurting Kittle at times. You know, anytime Kittle fumble or he drop a pass and things like that, I usually just feel like it's because of his lack of usage throughout a game. They turn him into a blocker. Then they ask him to go out and play tight end. I think as much as Kittle loved the dudes on his team and his coach and all and winning, I just feel like Kittle could end up in a better situation. Not as far as like nothing wrong with the situation he in. I just feel like he could get so much more out of his career. And I understand it's not just about stats. And that's why Kittle is the ultimate team player. But Kittle could have a chance to win somewhere else and put up big numbers like the great player that he is. I just feel like he's being severely underutilized in this offense, which will always happen without a quarterback that specifically likes throwing it to the quarterback. If you got quarterbacks that are just going to run Kyle Shanahan's offense, his offense don't need George Kittle to go crazy. His offense need George Kittle to block. I think it's a bigger loss for Brock Purdy not having Deebo Samuels tomorrow night, than it is if he weren't to have George Kittle. And that's the problem, because George Kittle is the better player of the two, in my opinion, and the more reliable hands-catching player. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see if they look into trading George Kittle in the offseason, because I just don't think that the 49ers need him at this moment, especially with the defensive players you about to be paying over the long. Because ain't Nick Bosa's contract coming up next year or at the end of this year? So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting what's happening with that. But the reason I'm taking the Seahawks over the 49ers, I think the 49ers offense is going to hit a bit of a roadblock. It's it's Thursday night football, only game on. Brock Purdy is on a big stage now. Like, it's different when you on Sunday night and Sunday football in the afternoon. There's other games going on. You know, you might be the game of the week or something like that, but there's still a lot of other games on. This is the only game on TV, the only game on at night. Every football fan will be watching. You will be the talk of the town. So I'm very interested in this game, but I do think that Seattle's home crowd is not a joke, bro. They really do get loud, make a difference. And I think this could be one of them games in a divisional game that's so important. The Seahawks fans understand the importance of this game. I think the 12th man going to go crazy in this game, and I think it could lead to Brock Purdy making a couple mistakes. I do think he'll throw an interception or two in this game. I think the pass rush will be hyped in this game because I think they could get Brock Purdy off kilter a little bit with how loud the crowd can be in this game. And I don't actually expect the Seahawks defense to play an unbelievably great game, but I expect them to make key stops in this game. I'm not saying they're going to shut down that run attack by Kyle Shanahan, but I do believe they'll make big plays in this game in order to win it. And a lot of it will have to do with the fact that they're going to be feeding off of a hyped up crowd in Seattle. So I do think it'll be a close game, and I think in the fourth quarter Big plays will have to be made, and I think Geno and that offense will be able to make them. Tyler Lockett and DK will make a crazy catch. Both make crazy catches on the drive to go down and take the lead in the game. And I think a turnover late can end up sealing it for the Seahawks because they'll end up scoring off a said turnover, whether it be a defensive return for a touchdown or the offense finding a way to get into the end zone immediately after. So probably like a 7 or a 10-point game. I think this is what it'll end up being. But I do think they'll end up putting up some points in this game also. Now, getting into the... Hold up, bro. Hold up. All right, now, getting into the games on Saturday, bro. Saturday football games are here. Cheetah is here, bruh. Saturday football games at... Oh, shit. I'm going to just go off of what I remember the times to be, I think. The Indy-Minnesota game, I think, is at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The Baltimore-Cleveland game is at 4:30 in the afternoon. And the Miami-Buffalo game is at 8:15 at night. So those are the 3 games. Indy heading into Minnesota. I'm taking Minnesota. I understand Minnesota coming off a couple bad losses or a couple losses. However, Indy is just not a good team. They coming into this game 4-8-1. Minnesota coming into this game 10-3. I understand winning this game for Minnesota won't mean much to the media because they're supposed to win this game. But I don't think Minnesota is reeling in the instance of, oh man, they in a downward spiral so bad that they could lose this game. I don't think Jonathan Taylor finna come out there and go absolutely ape shit on them. As much as I really don't like the Minnesota defense, I don't like the offense either. I love Justin Jefferson. I like Adam Thielen. I think this offense could be so. This could be a team that average damn near 40 points with a different quarterback, and that's all I'm gonna say. But I'm taking Minnesota to win that game. Baltimore heads to Cleveland. Baltimore comes in 9-4. Cleveland comes in 5-8. I'm pretty sure Lamar Jackson will not be playing in this game. Tyler Huntley will probably be getting the start. Who knows? I'm taking Baltimore to win this one in Cleveland in a close one. I think Baltimore's defense will make plays late in the game on Deshaun Watson in order to win this game. I think it'll be close throughout. I would say that Cleveland will be able to run the ball efficiently with Nick Chubb, but they just don't run the ball that much or that effective now that they have Deshaun Watson throwing it. So I'm going to take Baltimore to win that game and move to 10-4 on the season. Miami. And this is the game that everybody looking for. Obviously, I'm a Baltimore fan, so I'm looking forward to Baltimore. But either way, Miami heads to Buffalo to take. I'm not gonna be able to even see the Indy Minnesota game. I'm gonna be at work, and I'm gonna probably come back during that Baltimore Cleveland game when it's in the second quarter. But Miami heads to Buffalo in the divisional game, and Miami needs this game. They done come off a couple losses. They dropped to 8-5. Buffalo 10-3 now. Miami, if they lose this game, the Patriots now close to you. What's the other fucking team in that division? You basically could be. Miami is not guaranteed a playoff spot. Put it like that. They have to win this game. This is a must win, and they not even at home. And you beat this team earlier in the season, and that win it no longer matters now because you 8-5. I think this is a must-win for Miami. They offense have to come alive this week. You done lost 2 games in a row. It has not been a great stretch for this team. I think the defense done played good enough. Well, that's what's crazy the last couple of weeks to actually win you some of these games. As much as people say Justin Herbert played great last game, the motherfuckers was only up by like a touchdown or like 6 points for the majority of the game. That's with Miami's offense struggling. So the defense for Miami clearly has done its part the last couple of weeks. But Miami's offense got to come to life. They have to come. The Cheetah is here. He has to arrive. Because if they don't, because I'm taking Buffalo in this game, but Miami has to. This got to be one of them games I'm wrong about. Because Miami got to win this game. I do think this is a must-win for Miami. But I'm taking Buffalo at home to get it done. Josh Allen in the offense haven't really been too explosive the last couple weeks. I think they could end up being having an explosive game this week. But Miami got to win this game. They have to win this game. It'd be such a shame to start the season the way they did and to not make it to the playoffs. Atlanta 5-8. They head to New Orleans to take on the Saints, who are 4-9. Desmond Ridder will play. Marcus Mariota is away from the team, I guess. I guess he dipped out. No clue what that's all about. I'm going to take New Orleans. I'm not really sure on that game. Like, this is a game. What's crazy is this game, one of these two teams could still end up winning the fucking division. Like, the Saints is in last place, but first place in the division only got, 5 or 6 wins. Carolina, who was in last place for the majority of the season, could end up taking first place in the division this week with a win and a loss by the Tampa Bay Bucks, I believe. Like, this division, the NFC South, is god-awful. Usually the Cowboys division is what this division is. Now this is just god-awful. But I'm going to take New Orleans to win this game because I think their defense will be able to fuck up Desmond Ridder's day. Dallas, 10-3. They head into Jacksonville to take on the 5-8 Jacksonville Jaguars. Listen, bro, I understand that Dallas had a rough week last week, needing a game-winning touchdown at the end to win it. Listen, these things happen. Dak Prescott done looked a little rocky the last couple weeks. These things happen. The beauty in this is I don't expect their defense to have another bad week. Listen, and that just happens. If they do have another bad week, who cares? I think they'll be able to make the plays to win it. Now, Trevor Lawrence done look good 2 out of his last 3 weeks. He throwing the ball better. The offense looked good. I like the Jags. I told you. The Jags, to me, should have been better than they are, seeing as how I picked them to win that fucking division at the beginning of the year. They actually irritated me that they haven't won that division, that they probably won't win that division, but they still have a chance, I believe. But I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys to win this game because I do think that the Dallas Cowboys will be able to confuse. I expect Trayvon Diggs to have at least 2 interceptions. I expect 2 interceptions in this game by Dallas defense. Plus, Dallas's defense, bro. Them and the Eagles' ability to sack the quarterback this year is insane to me. For some reason, everybody talk about how Dallas get to the quarterback. Nobody talk about how Philly get to the quarterback. It's weird to me, but I'm taking Dallas to win that game. Philly heads to Chicago, and they about to spank Chicago's ass. I'm telling you right. But listen, bro, you already know. I'm big on the Phillies. I'm big on the Eagles. Some would say I'm a pseudo Eagles fan. I am not. I just fuck with Jalen Hurts. And this is a great team. I saw it. Micah Parsons gotta stop hating on Jalen Hurts, bro. I don't know what this hate in his heart is, but he gotta get it out, bro. Jalen Hurts is him. You can't be mad because they finally got that man some weapons now, and he can ball out. He can. Bro, everybody can't. You wouldn't be the player you are if you were the only great player on your defense. DeMarcus Lawrence and them other great players help you out too, bro. Stop it. But I'm taking Philly to win this game. They are a far better, superior team than Chicago. I told you. Philly can play a bad game and still spank your ass. That's just the reality. They are a great team on both sides of the ball, and it's all led by Jalen Hurts. Because I'm going to continue to make an argument. You take Jalen Hurts off this team, this is not a undefeated team. For one, A.J. Brown probably wouldn't even want to be on this team and get traded here if they didn't have Jalen Hurts. So I'm not hearing none of that shit. Oh, and these last 2 games I done went over, these are the Sunday games. We off for Saturday. Saturday was only those the Indy, Minnesota, Baltimore, Cleveland, Miami, Buffalo. Those was the Saturday games. Atlanta, New Orleans, Dallas, Jacksonville is Sunday. Philly and Chicago is also Sunday. And all the rest of the games I'm finna name until I say it's something else. But I'm taking Philly to win this game convincingly. They will move to 13-1 on the season. Listen, Chicago to me is a bad team. I told you I don't really want to spend too much time talking about Chicago because I'm actually about to do a video soon about Chicago. So I'll just save it for that. Kansas City, 10-3 coming into this game. They head to Houston to take on the 11-1. Good Lord. Houston Texans. Kansas City is going to win this game. Pat Mahomes might try to get pretty in this game doing some wild off-the-wall shit because it's the Texans. They will be fine. We ain't gonna spend too much time on that. They're gonna win that game. I do find it interesting though, like I said before, they took out Kyle Allen as if him and Davis Mills play anywhere near. It's like you want both of them dudes playing because they both garbage. So it's not like, oh well, let me bench him because he playing too good. Like what? like Kyle Allen should probably still be the starter right now if you think he was worse than Davis Mills. Unless you were saying to yourself like, oh, nah, he playing a little too good. I don't know, man. It's a weird shit going on down there in Houston. They better pray that they get that number 1 pick right now. They get that number 1 pick right. 5-8 Pittsburgh Steelers coming off of that big old L to the Baltimore Ravens. Head to Carolina to take on the 5-8 Carolina Panthers. I'm taking the Carolina Panthers to win this game. I think Steve Wilkes battling for a job, not a quarterback or a draft pick. Not to mention, he could still get a good draft pick possibly because this division goes probably the winner of the NFC South will probably finish under 500. And that's just a damn shame. Sam Darnold will probably start in this game. Do I trust him? Nope. As a matter of fact, bro, no, I'm not taking Carolina. I'm changing that. I'm taking Pittsburgh. The reason I'm taking Pittsburgh is because as much as I like Carolina's defense, TJ Watt and those boys, they can actually make a difference to where I think they could suffocate Carolina's offense and make it a long day for Sam Darnold. So I think this will be a defensive win for Pittsburgh. They'll get the points they need to get when they need to get them. And I think they'll end up getting this win. Detroit heads to the Jets. They head to the Jets. They head to the New Meadowlands to take on the New York Jets, who are 7-6. Detroit comes into this game 6-7, riding a high. And I'm taking the Jets in this game. Now listen. I don't want to take the Jets, but I told you, every time I have faith in Detroit and I take them to win the game, they lose. So I'm gonna keep betting against them, and Detroit fans can just thank me because as long as I bet against them, they win. When I bet with them, they lose. So I want y'all to keep this high going also. I told you. Do I think Dan Quinn, what's this motherfucker's name? Whoever the head coach is for the Lions, Dan Campbell. Do I think he is a good head coach? No. But I like a lot of the players on the Detroit Lions, and I think this is a good upcoming team, a quarterback. Because Jared Goff's contract is coming up, and Jared Goff having a fucking year right now. If the Lions are in a position to take a quarterback that they think could be a franchise-changing quarterback, you take him over Jared Goff. If you do not have that opportunity, you re-sign Jared Goff. But you do not re-sign Jared Goff to an astronomical contract, and Jared Goff should know that. Because Jared Goff is a roller coaster. He up and down far too often. I told you, if Jared Goff have times where he looked great, and then he just looked absolutely god-awful, and it's like, yo, what the fuck is this going on right now? So I like Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is very dependent on the talent around him and the coaching in front of him. But I would not re-sign him if I have an opportunity to draft a quarterback that I think is going to change the fortunes of my franchise. If I do not have that, then I bring back Jared Goff on a team-friendly contract. However, I do think the Jets are going to win this game. Because the Jets defense, I told you, bro, I'm infatuated with the Jets defense. I just think they are phenomenal, bro. In the secondary up front, they could be better at passing, getting to the quarterback, but that's neither here nor there. They still decent at it, good at it. I love the linebacking core for this team. Of course, I'm one of the biggest C.J. Mosley fans in the world. I just think this is one of the games that their defense can win them the game. For one, they done already showed you. They can shut out and make it a long game for great quarterbacks. I can only imagine how difficult a game this is about to be for Detroit and Jared Goff. Because this is the exact type of defense that can make you realize why you are not going to give Jared Goff a franchise quarterback type of contract again. I think that's the type of Sunday that's going to be for Jared Goff. As much as I like how good his season done been, he could probably win Comeback Player of the Year. Even though I feel like Comeback Player of the Year should be when you get hurt and come back, not just because you had a bad year last year and then you have a good one this year. That's crazy to me. That's more of a Most Improved award, which I would give that to him. But Most Improved Player of the Year, I would definitely give to Jared Goff at this moment, unless I'm forgetting somebody. But I'm taking the Jets to win a close game because I do think. Now, here's a caveat. I'm not taking the Detroit Lions, but because I don't want to jinx them. If the Detroit Lions offense can just fucking travel, we will be fine. I just have a feeling Detroit's offense will have one of their worst outings of the season because that's how good the Jets defense is. They are just that great. Arizona heads into Denver to take on the Broncos. Jesus Christ, this is one of the hardest games to pick when you consider how bad the Cardinals are, and they don't have Kyler the rest of the year. How bad the Broncos are, and how bad. I mean, I'm going to just try to go off of the fact that Denver had the most points they done scored all season in their last outing with 28. And I think Russ is going to play. If he don't, then I'm taking Arizona. But I don't know if he playing or not. I'm going as if he playing. If Russ is playing, I'm going to take Denver. I don't know why, but shit. Arizona only got one more win than them. Arizona 4-9, Denver 3-10. Nobody's watching this game. I won't be watching this game. But I'm taking Denver to win it. The New England Patriots head into Las Vegas to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm taking the Patriots. I love Devontae. He's going to have a phenomenal game, and the Patriots are going to end up winning it. Because Derek Carr is the type of quarterback that can be stifled and fucked all the way up. Just like I said, the Jets defense is the exact defense that will fuck up Jared Goff. The Patriots defense is the exact type of defense that will fuck Derek Carr's day all up and have you saying, should he be paid, yada, yada, yada. New England's defense, for one, Uche and Red Sleeves, Matt Judon, who the Ravens refused to pay. Just let him walk. Yeah. Super stud. Those two motherfuckers gonna make it a long day for the Vegas Raiders. The Raiders' offensive line ain't really that great. Derek Carr get happy feet in the pocket at times. I think Bill Belichick gonna actually have a game plan to take Devontae Adams out of the game and limit his production. I think this is gonna be one of those rare limited production games for Devontae. It's just as good as they run the ball too. The Patriots, that's the caveat. If the Patriots defense struggles stopping the run with Josh Jacobs, this could be an interesting day. And I also think, as much as I don't like Mac Jones' offense around him and the offensive coordinator and all that, I think Mac Jones is a decent quarterback, and if he had actual pieces around him to help him progress and be better, I think he would be way better this year than he actually playing. But I think Mac Jones will make enough plays. I think Mac Jones better than Derek Carr. I know that sounds crazy, but I just see what Mac Jones could be if he actually had the coaching around him. Derek Carr is what he is, and I love Derek Carr. I think he is a cool dude I can see off of the thing. I probably wouldn't hang around too much because he all into that Jesus shit, and there's no offense to him or Jesus shit, but I just don't really hang around too many people that's always talking about that Jesus and all that shit. But Derek Carr seems like a cool dude from every time I hear him talk, and all, a real cool dude. However, I just don't think, like, I talked about Jared Goff's roller coaster. Jared Goff done been better in his career than Derek Carr to this point, and Derek Carr's roller coaster done been just god awful at points and times. I think you think Derek Carr better right now because he has Devontae Adams, but I'm not. That doesn't fool me. Devontae Adams is a guy who's going to get his numbers anywhere he goes. He is that type of receiver. He's going to make quarterbacks look better regardless because he is that type of receiver. Your numbers are going to go up with Devontae Adams because he is that type of receiver, that type of player. Generational, first ballot type of Hall of Famer. Won't matter in this game, in my opinion. New England will find a way to win this game. I even think New England might end up having a big run game, or a big run day in this game where Mac Jones won't have to do too much and be held back too much by his offense. I was listening to Matt Patricia talk about how he not offended or he don't really mind Mac Jones yelling because he done dealt with players like that all his whole career that wanted to win and was passionate. And he named a whole bunch of players, right? Great players, great legends. Teddy Bruschi's, but a whole bunch of fucking defenders. And that's their offensive coordinator now. Like, Bill Belichick get on my fucking nerves. Cincinnati 9-4. They head into Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers, who are 6-7. And I'm not making this mistake again. Tampa Bay gonna have to start winning these games and proving it to me. Cincinnati winning this game. Now I haven't seen an update on T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, but I think they'll do enough. Bro, I saw somebody say, I think it was that motherfucker Emmanuel Acho say, I saw Joe Burrow win without Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. Bruh. No. He said I saw him win without Jamar Chase. What? Bruh. Y'all gotta stop acting. Even the offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator for the Bengals, who was on the Pat McAfee show, said We have 3 number ones here, basically. Like, we have 3 top receivers here. Like, bro, if y'all don't watch football, just say it. But T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and Jamar Chase are not number 2, 3 receivers. Those are 2 bona fide number ones and a number 2 that could be a number 1 anywhere else in T. Higgins. He just don't get the opportunities because you got Boyd and Jamar, who are better number ones. But who knows how much. And the only reason you can say that is because they clearly done beat Higgins out. But Higgins, when you see Higgins shine, it's like, yeah, that's the number 1 receiver. It's just he don't get the opportunities to be that because he playing with 2 other number 1 receivers. Like, I don't understand giving this excuse to Joe Burrow that, oh, man, he won without Jamar. Bro, he still got. Now, if he win without all 3 of those dudes, talk to me. Because most quarterbacks don't get 1. Let alone 2. 3? Come on now. Stop it. But I do think Cincinnati going to end up winning this game. Tampa Bay's offense is just not good enough, bro. Brady struggled. And I know he struggled against the defense for the 49ers. He's going to struggle against this defense for the Bengals. Especially comes fourth quarter and in that second half. Because the Bengals defense just do something to quarterbacks in the second half of these games and in the fourth quarter. I just don't see it. I don't know where they get the scoring from. I don't know how the offense gets the run game going. I don't know how these receivers end up, burning the defenders all day on the Cincinnati defense. I don't see it. To me, Cincinnati better offensively and better defensively. And the thing about games like this, Cincinnati can be in a long game against Tampa Bay because the defense for Tampa Bay can have a great game and still figure out ways to score ultimately. I don't trust Tampa Bay. Tennessee heads to L.A. to take on the Chargers. Tennessee is 7-6, and so is the Chargers. I'm not confident in either of these games. I'm taking the Chargers, even though I really think the Tennessee Titans are going to win the game. The reason I'm taking the Chargers is because, and this is one of them weird picks where I'm not actually picking a team that I think is going to win, because I think the Chargers are going to win. I think the Tennessee Titans are going to win. I'm picking the Chargers because they have to win. They have to. And even though I told you Miami got to beat Buffalo, my feelings towards that is not as strong enough to make me pick Miami. My feelings for this are, they can beat the Titans. The Titans, yeah, they play a tough, grinded out, grimy type of game. They could turn it into that. But the Chargers have the talent, bro. I understand coaching is holding Justin Herbert and this offense back a lot at times. And then Justin Herbert and his offense just don't make key plays at times. And the head coach is just killing them at times. But they have to be able to put this full game together to be able to beat the Titans. Because this is a team that they are better than. They can beat the Titans. They have the weapons. And my fear is that they come into this game looking at how bad the Titans done been the last couple weeks. And Derrick Henry finally wake up and go nuts. It's funny to say that Derrick Henry ran for like 119 yards last week and he had a bad game because he had 3 yards in the second half. But it just feel like a game that if the Chargers don't come into this game realizing that this is must win, we have to win this game. Our playoff berth is on the line. It's just a game where the Titans going to find a way to run right through them. But I'm taking the Chargers because I feel like they understand we have to win this game. We only got 4 or 5 games left in the season. We got it. It's getting down to the wire. Too many teams is close. We're not even in the playoffs right now. We in the hunt, I believe. Gotta win this game. So I'm taking them to win it. Sunday night football. The Giants 7-5-1. Head to Washington to take on the Commanders, who are coincidentally also 7-5-1. Interested to see if that's ever happened before. I'm taking the Commanders. I told you. The Giants, to me, are not a good team. I couldn't even tell you. I could, actually. But the Giants, to me, don't have enough great players on defense. They don't have enough good players on defense. They rely too heavily on being great scheme-wise and players playing above how great they might actually be. Shout out to Julian Love, though, because I rock with him. I just don't think the Giants are good enough. I think Saquon Barkley is not a running back who, at this point in his career, because of the injuries, can continuously carry a load. You're going to have more, he dinged up and nicked up throughout games than the big games that we thought we would come to expect from him. I don't think the Giants are talent-wise either. To me, the Commanders, if if the Commanders had a different quarterback and head coach, this would be a great team. Because they got a lot of the pieces that a great team would need. Like, you plug in Lamar Jackson, Sean Payton on this team, this is a Super Bowl caliber team. They got the receivers, they got the defense, and I think this will be one of them games because the Commanders and both teams are in the playoff hunt, but I think the Commanders will end up getting in. I think the Commanders are going to win this game. I don't think the Giants are going to make the playoffs. But actually, never mind. They actually might make the playoffs just because of how bad the NFC South is. And, you know, the Seahawks, they 7-6, so, you know, you lose this game and the Seahawks win. You know what I'm saying? It gets very interesting because the 49ers, to me, are going to win their division. I think the 49ers are going to win the division, but we'll see. But I'm taking the Commanders to win this game. I thought they should have won that game that ended in a tie a couple weeks ago. Somehow they didn't. I think they'll get it. Tyler Heineke played like garbage the entire game, and then at the end of the game started making plays. The shit was wild. I'm taking the Commanders to win this game. I think it will be another close game because I have no faith in Tyler Heineke and that offense and the play calling. But the defense, I think, will have a far better game, even better game, I should say, than the first game. Monday Night Football, the last game on the slate. The 4-9 Rams head into Green Bay to take on the 5-8 Packers. So a Monday night game where neither of these two teams will more than likely make the playoffs. Because I understand people keep talking like the Packers have a chance, but they are 5-8 right now, ladies and gentlemen. Which means they are 2 games behind the Giants and Commanders. And I understand people say, "Oh, well, you know, it's Aaron Rodgers. I trust him more than Heineke and Daniel Jones." Yeah, sure. Then you haven't watched this season. The Packers would be a playoff team right now if they had chose to lean into the run game all year. That's not what they've chosen to do. But I'm pretty sure they'll win this game. I'm pretty sure it'll be a boring game. It could potentially be a very slow game. But the Packers will end up winning it. I have no faith in Baker Mayfield. I know Baker Mayfield will struggle coming in because now they know he's going to be the starter coming into this game. So they can prepare for Baker midfield now. It ain't no shocking them. The Packers defense know who they playing. And I believe they'll have a great game against Baker. I expect him to throw at least 2 interceptions. Jair Alexander will probably get both of them. I expect the Packers defense to have a strong game and the Packers run game to end up having dominant series where they get them on the board. So I'm taking the Packers in that game. And with that being said, those are my picks and predictions for Week 15. I truly do appreciate y'all for joining me, man. I apologize if the energy wasn't as hype as it probably usually is or as noisy as you. I'm actually vetting, trying to find a way to get other people involved eventually on the show. So I'm having like conversations with other people and things of that nature. But yeah, bro, I appreciate y'all. But what it really is I'm hungry. That's what it is. I done ate once today. Once. And the food that I ate, I devoured that shit in like under a couple minutes. So I'm waiting till 5 o'clock hit so I can go get something to eat. That's really what it is. But listen, bro, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. The Week 15 picks and predictions and Thursday Night Football. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. Happy holidays, yo. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, you know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home.